Good day, everyone. This is the part 4 of the lesson that we are going to discuss. And for today, we are still going to discuss one of the area in technology and livelihood education, which is the cookery. Have you seen these signages? Where have you seen this, and what comes to your mind when you see these signages? The following examples are the signages that we are usually see in our surroundings in order for us to be reminded to take care of ourselves and maintain the safety. We have here the water safety tips or rules and regulations in the pools and even in the site safety. But the question is, do you really can evaluate and control hazards in the specific place or in your workplace? When we say hazard, a hazard is something that can cause harm. For example, electricity, chemicals, working up a ladder, noise, a keyboard, a bully at work, stress, and the likes. While a risk is the chance, high or low, that any hazard will actually cause somebody harm. For example, working alone away from your office can be a hazard. These are the examples of hazard and risk. Water is an example of hazard. Risk is jumping in without knowing how to swim. Next one is the gasoline. Risk is lighting a match. Lastly, driving. Risk is texting while driving. There are ways by which you can evaluate and control hazards that are found in your workplaces. In this lesson, you will learn the different kitchen hazards and evaluate some of the common hazards at workplace. Hazards in commercial kitchens often relate to food preparation equipment, manual handling, the way stock is stored, and the cleanliness of the environment. But in truth, most if not all the hazards are created by people. If you work in accordance with your food handlers, safety training, and the prevention measures discussed below, you'll cut hazards down to a safe minimum. Manual handling include carrying, lifting, pushing, and other manual handling maneuvers can, if not done safely, seriously harm the body's musculoskeletal system. The Health and Safety Executive reports that over 30% of food and drink industry injuries are mainly musculoskeletal injuries caused by manual handling. Examples of manual handling include lifting boxes and crates of food, pushing or pulling wheeled rocks such as trolleys, carrying pots or stacks of plates, moving equipment, handling containers of drinks including casks and kegs, unloading food and drink deliveries, cutting, deboning such as meat and poultry, and reaching for items on shelves or in walk-in fridges. Maneuvering awkward loads with contents that shift, like casks and kegs, are especially risky as you usually have to adjust your grip on the move to minimize strain. To minimize manual handling hazards, you should keep the load close to your body with the heaviest side facing yourself. Get a good grip of the load and adapt a stable position. Know your limits if a load is too strenuous. Don't push yourself. Loads should never exceed 25 kg. Adopt a good posture. Keep your back straight and avoid twisting or leaning, and clear away obstacles or wet patches on the road beforehand. These are the specific examples of hazard and risk. First one is the slips, trips, and falls. Kitchens often have numerous slips, trip, and fall risks created by human error, meaning you and others need to focus closely on proper safety practices and housekeeping. These include floor contamination, such as spillages of water, sauces, oil, and flour. Wet floors from cleaning. Obstructions in walkways including trailing cables, boxes and crates, bins, cleaning equipment, uneven, worn down or loose flooring, and using a ladder to access high pantry shelves. To minimize slip, trip, and fall hazards, you should carry out good housekeeping. Clean spillages and move obstructions out of walkways right away. Take extra care while cleaning. Avoid leaving puddles behind and make sure the cleaning materials you're using are correct for the type of floor in your kitchen. Dry mop where possible to eliminate slip risk altogether. Report any issues with the flooring or work activities that are generating hazards when they shouldn't. For example, leaking equipment, the ladders in accordance with safety instructions, rest ladders on a firm, level surface, and only use them for up to 30 minutes. Do not lift more than 10 kg up a ladder and avoid accessing heights without a suitable ladder. Chairs and shelves are unsafe to stand on. Carry out deliveries with a co-worker. Working with someone minimizes the amount of times you have to step on and off the back of a truck and put yourself at risk of falling. Food or item storage is also important. To store correctly, you should store heavy items no higher than waist height and don't overstock shelves. Use a FIFO or first in, first out food storage system. Use a step ladder if you must access higher shelves, so you don't have to reach above your head. Follow ladder safety rules. Follow your food safety and hygiene training. Know how to store food in the fridge safely. Ready-to-eat food on top. Raw meat, poultry, and fish on the bottom. And fruits and veg in the bottom drawer. Keep food in containers for further separation and don't overload the fridge. Check best before the use-by dates on stock regularly. Keep allergenic ingredients well away from non-allergenic ones. And ensure the temperature of the fridge is between 0 to 5 degrees Celsius and the freezer is below 18 degrees Celsius. Second one is the fire and electrical hazards. You regularly use electrical equipment and naked flames in a kitchen. Fire and electricity are serious dangers. They can cause burns and shocks or even ignite a fire. To minimize fire and electrical hazards, you should keep an eye out for sources of ignition and fuel. Remove cardboard boxes, packaging, and floor with wet cleaning to prevent creating a combustible cloud. Take extreme care when working around naked flames or electric stoves, and keep flammable materials away from sources of heat, and remember to wear a suitable chef's safety jacket. Check appliances and equipment's cables and plugs for signs such as fraying, dents, cracks, exposed wires, or burn marks. Also listen out for any unusual sounds. Clean up spilled chemicals immediately, like use of non-flammable materials to do so. Use electrical equipment and appliances only for their intended purposes. Follow all training provided to you. Keep electrical appliances away from water and do not overload socket outlets. And never attempt to repair electrical equipment yourself. If it appears faulty or has stopped working, take it out of use and report it to senior staff ASAP. Turn off all electrical equipment, stoves, and ovens at the end of the workday and when cleaning. Effective occupational health safety procedure may lead to: occupational safety creates new opportunities. Occupational safety affects company reputation and productivity. Well-maintained occupational safety saves money. Control hazards and risks in the workplace. Use caution when working around hot oil. Get trained in the proper use and maintenance of your deep fryer. Observe all safety procedures and wear all protective equipment provided for your use while preparing hot items. Use gloves and scrapers and other cleaning tools with handles. Use the correct grease level and cooking temperatures for your deep fryer. Keep stove surfaces clean to prevent grease flare-ups. Avoid reaching over or climbing on top of fryers and other hot surfaces. Keep floor surfaces clean and dry. Do not work closely to hot fryers when the floor is wet. Do not spill water or ice into oil. Do not overfill or pour excessive amounts of frozen fries into a deep fryer. Do not pour excess ice from fry packages into the fryer. Do not overheat the oil. Do not move or strain hot oil containers. Wait until the oil is cool. Do not store oil on floors by grill area. Extinguish hot oil or grease fires by using a Class K fire extinguisher. These are the things that you need to understand in this lesson. And now, kindly evaluate the hazards and risks present in the following pictures. First picture is in the office. Second picture is in the grocery store. Third picture is in the gasoline station. And fourth picture is in the fast food restaurant. Let us see if you know how to evaluate the hazard and risk found in the different workplaces given. That's all for the part 4. Thank you for watching!